Hey everybody, it's Brooke. Look what we're going to make today. It's a big old mess, but no it's not. It's this. Look at that. It's a pop-up from my journal. Isn't that cute? I love this project. Don't look at the colors because I just used some scraps that I had to do a prototype. But yeah, I love this. So cute. Goes right in the center of your journal, and when you open to that page, you'll have this beautiful butterfly coming out of the flowers. Isn't that pretty? All right, so if that sounds interesting to you, get those Cricuts out of your closet, take them out of your boxes, and let's put it together. Okay, here we are at the home screen of the Cricut Design Space. The first thing that you want to do is check to make sure you have the current version of Design Space, which is 7.7.177. If you don't have the current one, just go on over to the Cricut website and you can download it. Now, I will say prior to beginning this, I am an Access member. I pay $9.99 a month, and so I get anything that has this little A, I get for free. Because I use my Cricut a lot, I think it's a great value because even if you just want to make one thing, one project, you can end up spending $3 or $4. So if you're making more than a couple projects a month, it does really pay off to be an Access member. The card that we're doing today can be purchased. I don't know how much it is. It doesn't show me because, again, I'm an Access member. So I am not affiliated with Cricut in any way. That was not a sponsored little blurb, just saying. Okay, so to find our card, we're going to go and we're going to search in cards. And we're going to search for pop-up card. And it's thinking. We don't want images, we want projects, because this is a project that Cricut has kindly put together for us. So there are tons of them. Look how cute. I think that one's adorable. The balloons popping out of the box in a card. Unicorn. You know how I feel about unicorns. And then if you keep going, here is the butterfly pop-up card that we're going to make today. So I'm going to click on that. And I do recommend also just taking some time to cruise around in the design space area to see what's new. Under featured images, there are new images loaded all the time. And sometimes I get really inspired just by going to peek and see what's new. So anyway, this is what we're going to make today. I think it's a really pretty pop-up, but we're not going to make it into a card today. You can, absolutely. So these are the directions on how to put this together after you've cut it. If you want to make it exactly the way it's shown here, just go ahead and click Make It. However, I want to customize it because we're going to change a few things. And it's loading up on our screen. Most stuff in Design Space does take a little bit of time. I don't know, maybe it's my internet. Hard to say. So I just took that down to 25% so you can see all of the pieces. Right, so this is to make the full card. What I want to do is make a pop-up for my journal, so I don't need all these pieces. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to ungroup it. There we go, so that we can work with each piece individually. This is the envelope. I'm not going to make an envelope, so I'll go ahead and click the eye icon over here, and that makes it go away so it won't cut. I don't need the outside card. Excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing and click that eye and turn that off so that doesn't cut. And this is the inside piece, which I also don't want. So when you click on a layer over here, it automatically will highlight it over in your layers panel. So I'm going to click the eyeball on that one because we don't need that one either. Let's go ahead and make this a little bigger. So we've got our leaf piece, we've got our butterfly pieces, and then over here we have all of our flower pieces. Whoop. And then we also have the insert card for the greeting card, but I want to go ahead and make that because it'll be a fun place to journal on this page that has the pop-up butterfly, I think. So at this point, we're all set, and we are going to click Make It. Okay, and now it's just a matter of picking the kind of material you're using and following the instructions on the screen. So this is the first thing that's going to be made, and we're going to hit continue. It's going to take a second to connect. If you leave your dial on your actual machine set on custom, you get to choose exactly what medium you're using, what material you're using. If you actually set the dial to cardstock or light cardstock or I can't remember what else is on there, vinyl, then you will not get this screen. I like to be able to choose exactly what I'm using. So on this project, I am using heavy cardstock, and then it pops up and tells me exactly what to do. It says load your Raspberry pen in clamp A, that's the left-hand clamp, and load your fine point blade in clamp B, that's your right-hand clamp. And then load the mat and press load unload button. Once you do that, which I mean, I haven't loaded anything into my machine yet, so this will ungray, it'll show, and the C on your machine will be flashing. You just press that and let her rip. Okay, and that's it. You just do each layer. It will tell you when to unload your material and put the next thing in. So if we go down here to the black pieces, that's all our butterflies and our butterfly and our inside flower piece. If you see here, it's changed. It's going to tell you to load your scoring stylus in clamp A, left-hand clamp, and leave your blade in clamp B, the right-hand clamp. And off you go. Just keep following the directions, loading the mats. There are a few mats for this one, but it doesn't take that long. The longest mat to cut is this one because of all those little fine details. And you just go off and cut all your pieces, and I'll meet you back so that we can try to put it together.
All right, so we have cut all of our pieces with the Cricut. I did not make you watch that because that's boring. And here they are. So I have the little card that we made. Let me see. Oh, that's awfully white. Oh, there, you can see it better. And that's all the pen work that the Cricut did for me. And I thought that would be super cute for journaling on the page. And then we have all of the flower pieces cut. So you should have 3 of those in 3 different sizes. And then I have all of my butterfly pieces and the inside of the flower. So those are all of our black pieces. Now I have to tell you, one thing I forgot to mention when we were working with the Cricut is after you've cut things and you're going to pull them off your mat, don't pull them right off your mat. Turn your mat upside down so your design is on the table, and peel the mat back from the design rather than pulling the design off the mat, because you will get a much cleaner version of your pieces with all those little holes and everything. Oh, except for this one. There, he's gone now. But it works a lot better and your pieces won't curl that way. And then finally we have our leaves. So we are in business. Let's go. Let's see if I can put this together in one. I only have one shot, I guess. So what I like to do is take my tablet, and I like to pull up Design Space in my tablet. There we go. Oh, that's a terrible glare. Sorry. Is that better? Oh, there we go. So if I go to Cricut, where is Cricut? There it is. Here is the project pulled up just like we did on my desktop. But what will happen is you have all your directions for putting it together here. How can I, can you see that a little better? There are all your directions. And on the tablet, if you click on one of the pictures for putting it together, you can zoom it way in, which I need. If you are not spatially challenged like I am, you could probably put it together without directions. I cannot do that. So I do like that. And let's see. I'm sure there's a way to do it on the desktop. I have not figured it out. So I just do it this way. Pardon me. Okay, so here we are. Assemble, gather all materials. We've got all those. We just went through them. And we're going to assemble the butterfly wings and fold along score lines. So that's that picture. Let's just zoom that in a little bit. I'm going to set that aside. So we have, for our butterfly wings, we have these pieces. They're all stuck together. Whoops. And then we have the inside pieces for the color of the wings. Okay, so you'll notice when you cut them, one set of wings has two slits on the same side. One set of wings has a slit on either side. Important to note. Okay, so this is the other one that has the two slits. How does this go? I'm telling you guys, I'm challenged. So those are the two that have the slits on the same side. Okay, and here is the one that has the slits. I'm sorry, the slits on the opposite sides. And this is the one that has the slits on the same side. Okay, so we will take this and we will take our little colored bit. Excuse me. And I'm just going to add a little glue. I'm using art glitter glue. I find that it really works well on these projects with this tiny little nozzle. It grabs quick and holds it really well. So you don't have to do every square inch. You're good. Just enough to hold it in place. I do have my wax paper down. It's a little slippery. And I'm sure you're going to see my head going into screen 1,000 times during this video, because I do tend to get right up in there. Alrighty. So that is tacked down. That's cool. And then we're going to layer this one up on top. Just putting some glue around. Whoops, I went a little crazy. That's okay. It'll all work, she says, hopefully. I feel like even though I did that prototype because I'm on camera, I'm going to do something wacky. You guys putting down bets on that? Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue that. Did I do that on the wrong side? No, I didn't. Well, that's a miracle. Alright, and you know what? I think gluing that part right here was not what needed to do. So, what I needed to do. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe that off. Try to keep it from gluing. I think those need to open up. Do not improvise. Alright, so we've got those lined up pretty well. And look how pretty our butterfly wing is. It's not showing on camera as much, but this paper has a very slight gradation in it, from a deeper orange down to a brighter yellow. I think that looks pretty cool. Making sure our slits are aligned. We'll do the same thing with this wing. Let's put our... Oh, you know what? I'm checking our picture, because it seems like those would need to go different directions, right? Yeah. Alright then. Almost made a mistake right there. There we go. I can't even follow simple instructions. Shame on me. I did get out my tweezers because I do use them sometimes. This particular pair are squeezers, and I don't do very well with those. That being spatially challenged thing, you see. Alright. And then we will get this one lined up as well. And again, the art glitter glue is nice because it gives you just a minute, and I do mean just a minute, to line everything up. Get back here, you. There we go. Let me slide it. Thank heavens. And we will glue. Gosh, wax paper is giving me fits. But you know I'll get glue all over my mat if I don't have wax paper there. And I find this really soothing. It's like doing a puzzle or something. I am not good at puzzles, but matching up the pieces and doing the gluing, I just enjoy. It's a puzzle that I can do, sort of. Sometimes. Alright, so we'll line that up on there. Or we'll try. I do like to pick it up and just kind of pinch it together between my fingers to get it where it needs to be. Our slits are both uncovered and lined up. That's excellent news. Excellent news. And I'll just go ahead and pinch that. You could use your brayer if you wanted to make sure it was really smashed down, but I think my hands are sufficient to do that. And so what does Design Space say to do next? We have assembled them. We got that far. Oh, there, you can see that. Not so much of a glare. Alright. Assemble butterfly wings and fold along score lines. Alright, our score lines are down here. And it looks like they have folded them in opposite directions. Huh. I did not get it right on the score line. I know you can't see the score lines because it's black, but I can see them. There we go. Oh, I guess probably we could have left that glue that I wiped off. You'd think I'd never done this before. Alright, so they're all happy on their score lines. Sort of. Huh. There we go. Put an extra fold in that one. Hopefully that is not going to make a huge difference. And we'll grab this one and see if we can do a better job on the folding. Alright, there's the bottom one. And there's the top one. Hopefully when we get to the other colors you'll be able to see better. There's the bottom one. And there's the top one. Alright. So we've folded on the score lines, and it says slide assemble wings together along second slits. Okay, so that's going to be, I assume, the one further away. From the wings. Oh look, it's a butterfly. It's a flying butterfly. Okay, yes. We got that far. I hope this is not the most tedious thing you people have ever sat through. It was by request, so there you go. Alright, so fold along center score line of butterfly body and slide onto first slits of assembled butterfly wings. Okay, so again, it's black. I doubt you can see that, but I can see it. Although it doesn't seem to want to go. Come on, you butterfly. There we go. Now we got him going. His little butt's not acting right. His butterfly butt is out of control. Let's try folding it upwards. If you fold towards the score line first, it helps get it kind of in place. Gosh. There. I pinched his butt and that made him act right. Okay, so he's all creased on his center line, and we are going to slide onto first slits of assembled butterfly wings. All right. So we got him there. Come on, trying. You know what? I did not line that slit up exactly right. So let's just make this easier on ourselves, shall we? When we glued the butterfly wings together, it was not precisely lined up. So there we go. We'll just have that happen. A little butterfly surgery. It all works out. There we go. So now I've got the butterfly body tucked into those slits where they're supposed to be. Is that where they're supposed to be? Just double checking. All right. So now we have a flapping butterfly with his little 3D body. So cute. Okay. My iPad will not stay awake. Okay, so what comes next? Okay, now they're talking about putting the card itself together, and we're not making a whole card, so we don't have to worry about that. Fold along the score lines and glue along the tabs of each of the flower pieces. All right. We can do that. So in between each petal, we have a score line on this one. And if I'm looking at the picture of the project, and it does show the petals curving upwards like this. So I think we're good. And then we'll take these little tabs and fold down. All right. So then we have this tab that is the one that's going to attach the flower together. Show that to you flat. Okay, so I'm just going to put some glue on there. And line them up, making sure that it's even on the bottom and not overlapping the petal next to it. Whoops, pushed a little too hard, but that's okay. So you don't want to overlap this petal, and you want to make sure the bottoms are even. All right, so that's holding. It's also, I've glued it to myself, go me. So there's one. And we'll do the same thing. This is the middle flower, or the middle-sized flower, and it actually gets a crease in the center of each petal as well as in between the petals. Oh, not even in between the petals, just in the center. Let me hold this up so hopefully you can see it. I don't know if you'll be able to see the score lines, but let's see if I can hold it. Those are the ones I've folded. There we go. You can just barely see it. Right in the center of the flower. There we go. I think you can barely see it a little bit, but there are not any in between the petals like on the other ones, so this dude's a little different. And I was thinking as this was cutting, I think that you could make it with some of the pieces actually being like decorative paper instead of cardstock, and it would make less bulk in your journal. I think if the structure pieces, like the bottom of the flower and the body of the butterfly, were made with cardstock, the other pieces could be patterned paper. Wow, I have no words today. All right. Glue those guys together. Again, making sure the bottom's straight and we're not overlapping. Give it a second to catch. All right, so now we've got two flowers. Okay, now we have this last flower piece. And we will do the same thing. Oh, I forgot. There was something on my mat that stuck to our flower. That made me sad. All right, so this one we go back to folding in between the petals. Let me see if you can see the score lines there. Well, barely, but in real life, you can see them. It's pretty clear where they are. Okay, fold our flaps back down there. These little flaps on the bottom are where the card's going to get inserted into the leaves, or the flower's going to get inserted into the leaves. Some glue there. Glue the flower together there. Oops. There we go. Make sure it's not overlapped. Get those bottoms pretty even. Yay. Let's see. Yep. iPad went to sleep again. What a pain in the but so starting with the largest flower piece, slide the flower tabs into the outermost slits of the dark green leaves. Glue the tab outward, the tabs. Okay, so it's going into our leaves, and we're gluing the tab outward. We can do that. That sounds easy, although I seem to recall from the first one I made, it gets a little fiddly, but that's okay. We can handle it. Okay, so I'm folding along that score line, which is what's going to be in the center of our book. It didn't say to do that, but I did it. Okay, so this is our largest one. And that's going to go into the outermost slit in our leaf. Okay, and if you look at our leaf, we've got we've got 4 slots there. Excuse me again, boy, telling you. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's be brave. Let's glue them down. I would recommend, because I've already made the project once, I'm living on the edge, I would recommend on the first time you make it to maybe do a dry fit before you go all cray-cray with the glue. But that's your call. You do what you think is best. So a little glue on that tab and pressing it outward. Put it down this way, give it a good mash, because you know that's my favorite. Look at that, pretty cute, huh? You can see better from this angle. And it said to do the same thing with this guy. So I'm working that into the next slit. But if I didn't have a cold and allergies, I would no longer be chronic congestion girl. And where's the fun in that? Going crazy, putting the glue in, and folding the tab outwards, making sure that the crease that we made on the tab is lying flat along the slit. Sorry about that. Hard to concentrate on getting this right and staying in frame. It's above my pay grade. So mash it from the outside, make sure that's good and glued. I did find that when I was making the last one and this one, some of these little leaves kind of fight back. It's easy to catch them and bend them, but once you put this into your journal, you'll glue it down and it will be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and fold it where it will be folded. Give that a press. Start training it to do what it's supposed to do. Look at that. Isn't that cute? You wouldn't even need the butterfly. Just the 3 pieces of the flower would be super cute. Waking up my tablet again. See what's going to happen next. Let's see here. What does it say? I think you do all 3 pieces of flower. The next 2 flower pieces, I think they mean TWO. Okay, into the next 2 slits. So we did this one, and now it's time for the little guy. And we'll put him in the next slit. Awesome. So you should have 1 slit left. Oops, I put him in the wrong one. There we go. Push that in there. Get some glue going. And yep, glue everywhere. Yay me. Scoot this over a little bit. Make sure the crease of our tab is right up against that slit. Push it down, make sure it's gluing nice and tight. Oh, it's so cute. Look at that. I love just the flower. But let's go ahead and put the butterfly in, because this is a butterfly project. All right. So then, let's see. Assemble the flower centerpiece and slide into the innermost slit with the tab still outwards. Glue the black half hexy pieces to the center to cover the green portion, making sure the center fold can still fold. Well, it does make me wonder, where did the butterfly go? Alright, so this is our flower center, and I'm just going right along those score lines. Let's fold our tabs up. There's score lines there as well. I think this probably was part of what made the black sheet take the longest to cut, because that's some pretty fine detail. Okay, and let's glue that together. Again, in the interest of not bulking out your journal too much, here we go. I don't even know that you need this piece, because if you look at the prototype, you can see it when it's closed, but when it opens up and you're looking straight at it, I mean, you can see it a little bit. It's hard to see. You can see it some, but not in person, not even a ton. So I think you might be able to skip this piece. Should we go crazy? Should we skip it? I'm going off script again. Let's do it. Let's skip it. Ha! All right. So now we have to glue our little black hexy half hexies into the center. Don't cover up that slit. That would be a sad day. And again, in the interest of reducing the bulk, I would say you could color the center piece in with marker or paint. Okay. Get that put down in there. Oops. The shadow's so bad, Mark hasn't looked at the lighting yet. Just want to make sure not to cover that center crease. Guess I could have put those a little closer, huh? And it's still going to fold nice and flat. Oh, yeah. Excellent job covering the center. Not. But that's okay. Again, once the butterfly's in there, you won't even be able to tell. Oh, gotta wake up the iPad again. All right. Oh, yeah, they put theirs really close together. Whoopsie. Place the assembled butterfly tabs through the innermost slits and glue in place. All right. We can do that. Guess we don't want to rip anything, so got the holding the tabs of the butterfly together. Okay, getting those right there. I think I will go ahead and put the other side in before I glue. So I'm grabbing his little tabs and sticking them together. Oh, now I pulled the other side out. Yes, I do recall in making the first one, this was the most fiddly. Was getting these guys in. Maybe we'll go ahead and glue it. Ha! That'll teach it. In my defense, I made the other one a couple days ago. Do you think I remember how I did it? Oh, God, no. Hell no. Alright, so I'm going to put some glue right there. Try to fold it over. Stop it, butterfly. Tip it so you can see it, because that's the whole point, isn't it? Flip this guy over. Okay, hopefully that will hold now. We can get the other side in without it escaping. Get his little antennas up out of the way. Get in here. This is the part where I stick my giant head under the camera. Alright, there we go. My other one is that way too. His antenna kind of want to go crazy. And you could have so much fun, you guys. Ink the edges of the flower or the leaves before you start assembling. Mess around with the edges of the leaves. Put glitter on the butterfly. There are tons of different ways. There are tons of different ways to decorate them. Alright, let's put some glue on there. Oop. Stay. Everybody stay put. So I'm just going under that flower, trying to press stuff down inside. I'm gonna go and fold it into its resting shape. You know, I can tell already, leaving this piece out, there is a difference in the bulkiness. Let's see, this is the moment, and that's it. I mean, this is the moment where we find out if leaving this piece out was a disaster. Uh-oh, butterfly's getting aggressive. And fix that. Did that come loose? It did. I think we need some more glue. The butterfly is not behaving. And we'll try some on this side. All right. And then you can just mess with it, fluff them up a little bit. But that is it. Look at that. And I gotta tell you, looking at it flat on, well, you guys can see, this not being there is not really making that much difference. It does make it more obvious that I didn't get those hexagons together terribly well. Can you see that in between? Get a little pointer here. So you can see that gap where I didn't get the hexagons in between. I didn't get them close enough to the fold. But were you to paint that part instead of using the cut paper pieces, not only would it reduce the bulk, it would make it so that you wouldn't have that problem. But there's our little butterfly. Look at that. How fun is that? A very springy surprise to come up with when you open your journal pages. And then we have the cute card. So that would be in the center of the page, and that could just be a little journaling card or a place to put a photo on one of the pages. I like that a lot. So hopefully that helped you guys that are afraid to take your Cricuts out of the box. There are so many things that you can do with it. It's great. I highly recommend it. And that is our project for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If I left anything out or wasn't clear, please feel free to leave any questions down in the comments. And I will thank you for spending your time with me today. If you enjoyed what you see, please go ahead and hit that like button and consider subscribing if you aren't already. All right, guys. Bye.